The year is still fresh and we are into our February. It's the 12th of February 2026. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango, and straight away into the bulletin. Police in Mukono district is investigating the number of Tumwebaze Pamela, the Director of Students Affairs at Uganda Christian University. Pamela was reportedly strangled to death in her home in Gwafu West Village, Seta Ward, Goma Division in Mukono District. Well, may her soul rest in eternal peace. Now, the Ministry of Water and Environment has secured 1.76 million euro grant for the Sustainable Water Quality Management Project aimed at improving access to clean and safe water. The Permanent Secretary, Dr. Alfred Okot Okidi, says 30% of the population, about 40 million people, still lack access to safe water.
Uganda is stepping up efforts to increase access to clean and safe drinking water for all citizens, with the national coverage standing at 70% as of June 2025. Under the National Development Plan 4, government aims to expand water supply infrastructure, upgrade treatment facilities, and extend distribution networks.
I take this opportunity to appreciate ADA for the support in terms of grant financing, which amounts to 1.76 million euros for implementing the project on sustainable water quality management, supporting Uganda's development ambitions, that is SWAP Uganda.
And it was a very successful project which we want to continue, intensify in the next years, because we really want to help Uganda to solve these water issues, to improve the quality, to measure it properly, and to provide a healthy water for the people and for agriculture and the food system.
Protecting ecosystems from pollution is also critical to sustainable development. Government recognizes the growing threat of climate change on water resources and, through the Ministry of Water and Environment, is investing in climate-resilient infrastructure.
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to express my deep gratitude to the Austrian government in general and in particular to the Austrian Academy of Sciences and Boku University, who have been very strong partners in supporting Uganda since 1975 through International Postgraduate Technology (IPGL) training program. I have been reliably informed that since 1975 up to 2023, 108, that is 49 ladies and 59 gentlemen from Uganda Water and Environment, professionals from various institutions have attended the IPGL training program. Several of these are working with the Ministry of Water and Environment.
We have partners, existing partners, we call development partners, who are funding different water supply and sanitation projects, and also water resources projects. But we need more, and particularly now we are also moving to partnership with the universities to help us with research and development. Because when we prioritize the inadequate funds, we are looking at really provision of water, and there's very little left for research and development. So such a partner in form of a university is very important in supporting our research and development agenda.
The partnership has also strengthened Uganda's water and environment management with the Australian Development Agency, providing 2.1 million euros in support. Uganda faces a dual challenge, ensuring access to clean water and protecting water bodies and ecosystems from pollution. But with partnerships such as these, the future is bright. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
It's time for us to take a short break. Do not go away. We return with more news. Stay with us.
So, Muchara.
Yes, Daddy.
You know the children are going back to school and things are a bit tight. For now, why don't you take half of the fees to junior school, and for the school van contribution, we shall pay later.
Daddy, why don't we pay using MTN Momo, where we stand a chance of winning school fees for a whole year and more? By the way, you can also apply for a school fees loan, and also participating schools can win a school van.
That's right! Win school fees for a whole year and more. Get Momo goodies and a school van for participating schools. You can also apply for a school fees loan. Simply dial *165*80# or use the Momo app.
Janani Luwum Day is a public holiday in Uganda, annually celebrated on 16th February. It marks the day in 1977 when former Archbishop of the Church of Uganda was martyred for his courageous stand against human rights abuses during Idi Amin's regime. The 49th commemoration of St. Janani Luwum Day will take place under the theme Anchored in Christ for Stability, Peace and Unity in Muchwini Sub-County, Kitgum District. Don't miss the live event on Monday 16th February 2026 on UBC TV.
I'd like to thank all our clients, our valued taxpayers, the people that we serve as we collect revenue for building our nation. I thank you very much for the questions you have sent through this program of Buza Commissioner. On behalf of URA, I would like to pledge that we are committed and we will continue to answer all the questions that you ask through this platform. The whole purpose for this program is to ensure that your pain points, your questions are efficiently responded to. So I would like to encourage all our taxpayers who have questions to ask to please utilize this program that we are running on UBC, that will be receiving your questions through the numbers that you've been given, and URA will be available to answer these questions every Monday and every Wednesday during the 8 o'clock news bulletin. And then on Sunday, after the news, we'll have a full response to all the questions that will have come in during the week. I thank UBC for supporting us in reaching our taxpayers, and I thank our taxpayers for responding positively to this program. Thank you very much.
Buza Commissioner.
So, Muchara.
Yes, Daddy.
You know the children are going back to school and things are a bit tight. For now, why don't you take half of the fees to junior school, and for the school van contribution, we shall pay later.
Daddy, why don't we pay using MTN Momo, where we stand a chance of winning school fees for a whole year and more? By the way, you can also apply for a school fees loan, and also participating schools can win a school van.
That's right! Win school fees for a whole year and more. Get more goodies and a school van for participating schools. You can also apply for a school fees loan. Simply dial *165*80# or use the Momo app.
Welcome back from that short break. As we continue, the Minister of State for Defense and Veteran Affairs, Honorable Huda Olero Abason, has described the late Major General Francis Takirwa as a unique and warm-hearted officer whose cheerful personality stood out despite the demands of military life. Honorable Huda made these remarks during the solemn service held at All Saints Cathedral, Nakasero in Kampala.
The one now I know, called UPDF.
The late Major General Francis Takirwa, who passed away last week, will be laid at his ancestral home in Bushenyi district. Prior to airlifting his body to Bushenyi, a sober atmosphere filled All Saints Nakasero as UPDF senior officers and top government officials gathered to pay tribute to the late Major General Francis Takirwa.
Lost a freedom fighter who answered the call of duty with unwavering courage and loyalty, a true patriot who contributed to the liberation of this country and indeed to the peace and stability that we're enjoying today as a country. Dear mourners, a giant has fallen. Takirwa was a giant in all ways, a giant in physique, a giant in command, a giant really in all ways.
The service was presided over by the Most Reverend Dr. Stephen Kazimba Mugalu, Archbishop of the Church of Uganda. The ceremony was a mark of respect for a dedicated senior UPDF officer and a leader who served his country with distinction.
I was the fourth child after, among the 12 children. I was the first girl of the family. And Francis was our last born. If it was so that at that time they had allowed me to produce, I would have produced him. He's so young to me, and I have, up to now, I've been referring to him as that young man, that boy.
At the UPDF National Referral Hospital, Mbuya. His service and contribution to the country will never be forgotten. Mourners, when it's your first time to interact with the men in uniform, they are aware of how they are trained, they are automatically people you can fear. Unless you get used to know to them, that's when you will look at them as human beings, people who are jolly.
His commitment to service and professionalism was remembered by colleagues and friends, leaving behind a legacy in the UPDF.
Regardless of being a soldier, when you saw him, you would see somebody who is very lovely and has that automatic smiling face. I'm just giving you a testimony because I'm not a soldier, but when I was appointed to work with these people, it took us time to see, are they lovely? Are they welcoming? But whenever we're in the meeting, this gentleman here, even if he talks or not, the smile welcomes you and gives you a covert that you can easily talk to the generals.
All speakers described him as a professional soldier whose career reflected dedication to duty and commitment to excellence and instilled confidence through his conduct and commitment. Major General Takirwa served in key national leadership roles as the Chief of Education, Sports and Culture, 2nd Division Commander, and Deputy Commander Land Forces. Haruna Mutesasira, UBC News.
This Garant son.
And in court, Entebbe Chief Magistrate Stella Maris Mabidisi has today commenced a hearing a case in which Justin Takirwa and the 5 co-accused are charged with allegedly defrauding Monica Mbabazi of more than 80 million shillings. The court had that in 2022, the suspects allegedly connived to defraud Mbabazi by selling her a house at 150 million shillings, falsely presenting it as theirs. The property is located on Busiro Block 427, Plot 331, measuring approximately 42 hectares of land in Nalugala, Mauguru, Wakiso district. The appearing before the Entebbe Chief Magistrate Takirwa declared herself a state witness, giving an account of how the alleged defraud was carried out and how she posed as the rightful owner of the house. The Chief Magistrate has remanded Justin Takirwa and her 5 co-accused until the 2nd March for mention, as the formal hearing of the case is expected to commence on the 13th of March 2026. Takirwa is charged with obtaining money by false pretense, contrary to Section 305B of the Penal Code Act. Now, the other accused persons are Nachibuka Mariam, Damulira Henry, Baraza Ronald, Nyegenye, and Namuli Sarah.
I came in the picture as the owners. So your bosses, you had your bosses, you want media and so the money gave it to me.
I gave it to Medi, they gave me 1 million. I have a civil case on the same. On 2nd March, I'll be in civil, Kampala.
Yes, so you can go for the civil case. Now, when I come back, I'll continue with the case.
Omusango, it's still ongoing. Katulinde nga bwe tunadda wano ku kooti after 13 March. What Chief Magistrate agenda mu leave. Omusango guli mu kooti gwa kufera okufera client wange ettaka n'ennyumba bye yagula $150 million.
Ekirungi kyetusanze olwaleero kooti ebaddewo omusango ne gutambula bulungi naye nga gukyatambula gukyagenda mu maaso naye ekirungi ky'olwaleero kyendabye ku basuspect yadda ku side yaffe kati witness waffe era awaddewo obujulizi obutonotono naye tebuwedde bukyagenda mu maaso. Gumaze emyaka 3 naye kati we tutuuse tutandise okufuna essanyu kuba gutandise kuwulirirwa era tusaba Katonda nga 13 era tuguwulire tulabe ekinaddako.
And into the world of business, the Uganda National Mining Company has entered a new phase. Of its mandate, transitioning from the institutional establishment into the active execution of its commercial role in Uganda's mining sector.
Dr. Banaga Baingi says the company's first year of operation was largely foundational, focused on building systems, structures, and governance frameworks. He notes that UNMC is now fully positioned to shift from system building to operational execution.
The objective is to generate revenue, is to make money for the company, for the government, and for the people of Uganda, so that these minerals can become meaningful and valuable to this country.
The redevelopment of Kilembe mines in Kasesa district stands out as one of the company's most significant investments. This follows the signing of a joint operating agreement with Sarai Group Limited and Nile Fiberboard Limited on the 9th of January this year. On the global market, copper prices continue to soar. Previously valued at about $8,000 per metric ton, copper is now trading at nearly $14,000 per metric ton, presenting a major opportunity for Uganda, which is copper endowed.
For instance, Kilembe, we expect to have peak production by 2032. Between 2032 and 2034. So, with the activation, with the formation and operationalization and the movement of the National Mining Company, we should be able to make a significant contribution to the country's desired target of the tenfold growth.
Dr. Baingi emphasizes that Uganda is richly endowed with mineral resources that, if effectively harnessed, these resources can fast-track the country's social and economic transformation.
The Ministry of Finance and the government has launched the tenfold strategic growth as a target by 2040. We believe if we open up this mineral sector, we can achieve this much earlier. For instance, we are going to make about $234 million from copper. We are going to make $232 million from limestone. The beneficiation and value addition just of the 3Ts alone, is expected to bring us $29 billion.
The company is also engaging international mining firms and technology partners to explore joint ventures, promote technology transfer, and unlock new revenue streams while ensuring responsible mining practices and improved environmental performance.
We are developing partnership with KGHM, Zanam, to capitalize on KGHM, Zanam's of Poland, on the expertise in mining and metallurgy, to support our subsector, our sector development and technology transfer and the skills.
Dennis Igor for UBC.
Now, still in business, Kampala Central Mayor Salim Uhuru has revealed resolutions reached during a meeting at his office with city traders, including shop owners and property proprietors, regarding the ongoing impasse over street vendors. The meeting followed concerns from traders who threatened to withhold tax payments if street vendors are not removed from the city streets. They argue that vendors operating on the roadside do not pay taxes, yet compete directly with licensed businesses. The development comes just days before the Minister for Kampala and Metropolitan Affairs directed all street vendors, hawkers, border riders and taxi operators without gazetted stages to vacate the street by the 23rd of this month and return to designated areas.
A walk through Kampala Central streets paints a picture of congestion, with vendors lining the roads, borders and taxis parked along pavements, and pedestrians squeezing through narrow spaces. In some areas, the streets resemble open-air markets, making movement difficult for both motorists and walkers. Mayor Hull said traders, particularly shop and property owners, complained that their businesses have suffered due to vendors crowding the streets. He noted that former traders meet their tax obligations while vendors operate without similar responsibilities.
Delegation from the business community, and I had a delegation from the Property Landlords and Owners Association who were complaining, and they came and said we're no longer going to pay property tax. We're no longer going to pay licenses. We're not going to pay any dues to government because of the issue of the Batembe blocking their shops.
According to the mayor, traders resolved that if vendors are not removed, they will stop paying taxes because they are no longer making profits under the current situation.
And we have left the town to be in a mess. It's not right. So what I did is I communicated with them and I told them, yes, we agree with the issue of removing the vendors, but for now, the options we're giving the vendors is in the meantime, the Sunday market is going to start with this week. They're going to be in charge of their Sunday market. They're not going to pay any dues to anybody. It's going to be implemented. And it is in good faith. It is not in bad faith, it is in good faith for the good of everybody in the town. Because I will not accept someone, you come and oppress him. What I want him to do is to be a law-abiding citizen.
Uhulu emphasized that vendors will be required to relocate to established markets such as Wandegeya, Owino and Usafi market, while some critics have described Usafi as a ghost market due to its location and organization. Market leaders dismissed those claims.
The markets, I can assure you, there is no space in Owino market. That I can promise you. But Usafi, there is space, but that is a ghost town. No one wants to go to that side. The location of that place, I think, is not the best and conducive for our clients. Parking is not there. You see, even the taxi park is not working.
Omuntu njagala akugambe nti Usafi is a ghost market. Omugambe nti ntwalonda go mudaala bwagukulaganga.
LOC chairperson of Luzige zone, where Usafi market is located, Muleme Musa, alongside other leaders, including Semanda Deo, welcomed the decision. They said a market thrives on the presence of traders, but urged government to first ensure proper arrangements before relocating vendors.
We shall welcome the visitors from the streets to the market. I don't know how many vendors we have on the streets, but what we tentatively believe, we have about 600 to 700 spaces available for the vendors, for the street vendors.
Abagenyi tubaagala kuba akatale bwe kabeeramu abantu nga bangi bwe kakulaakulana.
Tebasoose kuteekateeka bulungi abantu bano gye balina okuba nti balaga.
Some traders, however, expressed uncertainty, citing reports that Usafi market may be demolished to pave way for a modern facility. They questioned where would they operate during reconstruction.
Because the minister knows that Usafi is going to be redeveloped. How are we going to accommodate those people when the market is going to be redeveloped? They should put that in mind.
Despite differing views, stakeholders agreed that Usafi's challenges are not about location but are largely linked to political interference. Nals Wawini, Jamil Sekaja for UBC.
And into the world of sports, Uganda under-20 women's national football team is intensifying preparations for their crucial return leg encounter against Zambia in the FIFA U20 Women's World Cup qualifiers. During the training session at Fufa Stadium, Kadiba, midfielder Namtebi Kulthum expressed confidence in the team's readiness as the Queen Cranes look to secure positive results in Lusaka on 14th February 2026.
We are done with our training of today as we are preparing for our game on 14th in Zambia. Our first game, we got a point, 1-1. Not the results we wanted, but that's what God gave us, alhamdulillah. As we go to Zambia, we promise to do our best and to get the 3 points back home. We kindly request for your prayers and support as we go for our game in Zambia. Thank you.
And that's all we had time for. Thank you once again for allowing us into your space. My name is Patricia Lukoma. Let's meet again at 8 and 10. Bye-bye.